Hi, and welcome to 5-Minute Caregiver Tips. Today we're going to be talking about dealing with difficult and high maintenance patients, clients, and actually anyone else in your life. So if you're a caregiver, it could be the person you're caring for. It also could be some of the people that are supporting you in this. So let's get into this. So when we define the difficult person, we need to understand who that actually is. And a difficult person really does have interpersonal problems wherever they go. Don't feel like it's all about you, which is a very common feeling that people have, is that they're only being difficult to me. And trust me, these people are having difficult relationships wherever they go. They consistently make it hard to accomplish a task, or it's hard to interact with them. So they may not appear difficult also. They may be the most pleasant person to your face, but behind the scenes, they may be throwing you under the bus. So one thing to keep in mind is that people behave the way they feel, and we're going to take a peek at that. So to understand the difficult person, we first need to ask this question: what is the person's behavior communicating to us? Because it looks like they're pushing our buttons, they're pushing us away, they're trying to make us angry and frustrated. But there might be quite a bit more underneath the surface. So we've got a 5-step approach, which is really important to understand these things. And we're going to go through each one of these and give you an example that may be similar to what you might be going through with the person you're providing care for. So the first one is a belief. So a person may have this belief: I believe if I go to a nursing home, I will be neglected and will die a painful, miserable death. Well, where did that come from? The interpretation is everyone I have known who went to a nursing home never came home. They did die. Therefore, the expectation is I expect everyone to die that goes to a nursing home, including me. Therefore, the emotions are I'm afraid of nursing homes and I'm terrified that I will have to go there soon. You can't make me go, and I'm sure that I'm going to make that happen. And then the behavior is a lot of resistance, a lot of what we are dealing with. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm fine. You're going to have to force me to go and leave me alone. So when you see this, what typically we see first with difficult people is this very last of the 5, which is the behavior. But what we have to understand is where that came from. Behaviors don't just magically appear. They came from an evolution. And for those of us who are working with older adults in that generation, they may have some really horrible memories of times where maybe the person that they cared for went to a nursing home and did have horrible experiences. Sometimes those things still happen to people, but not always. Our care has certainly improved quite a bit over the years. So understand that there's a whole process that evolves to the behavior. And again, you can look at this with any person in your life that you feel is a difficult person. Difficult persons' difficulties are chronic and usually lifelong. They didn't just happen overnight, and they don't just affect you. They affect all of their relationships. Our negative reactions reinforce their negative beliefs. So one of the most important things is that we do not react. We take a time out, we take a little bit of an emotional break, and we learn how to respond. So we must change our perspective and develop new responses to these behaviors. We must raise our awareness of why they are difficult. So bringing about some compassion into the situation, not being a doormat, but understanding where some of this did come from. So remember that one thing that I did say: people act the way they feel. We have 4 choices. We can stay and do nothing, suffer, complain, build up resentment, and feel awful. And just remember, resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. The second choice is voting with your feet. You can walk away, even if it's family. Am I losing control when I deal with that person? Is a very important question to ask yourself. Change your attitude about the difficult person. Raise your awareness about what may have occurred in their life to get to the point that they're difficult, and change your behavior. When I change, they have to adjust to my new behavior. It's called setting a boundary. Hopefully these messages and this little lesson today will help you as you move back into this relationship with this difficult person. For more resources,